evening, I'm Tyler Danberg. Number 1 Ohio State enters its bye week 7-0. Here, Buckeye Roundtable next on The Fan. Ohio State quarterback Julian Sand was named Big Ten Player and Freshman of the Week after tossing a career-high 393 yards at Wisconsin. Sand on finding his rhythm early.
Yeah, I think, just building that confidence. When you complete passes and, keep going and keep stacking them, I think it just builds more and more confidence going out there.
ALCS Game 7 at 8:10. Mariners visit the Blue Jays, winner to face the Dodgers in the World Series. NFL tonight, Buccaneers travel to the Lions at 7, then the Texans face the Seahawks at 10. Injury news, Falcons quarterback Michael Penix Jr. day-to-day with a bone bruise. Commanders QB Jaden Daniels' hamstring injury labeled as not significant. And Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson did not practice today as he battles a hamstring injury. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio Sports Destination.
Learfield. This is the Buckeye Roundtable Show presented by Burger King and brought to you statewide by the American Dairy Association Mideast and Cova Insurance, Window Nation, and by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers on the Ohio State Sports Network presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics. Now, along with former OSU All-American Jim Lachey and the voice of the Buckeyes, Paul Keels, here's your host, Skip Mossick.
And hi again, everybody. Welcome into another Buckeye Roundtable show as Ohio State heads into their second bye week of the season on the heels of their 34-0 win at Wisconsin on Saturday. Joined, as always, by former OSU All-American, NFL All-Pro Jim Lachey. Great to be with you.
Great to be with you. Improvement week, Skip, for me.
Let's get better,
Let's do it.
Shall we? Hall of Fame broadcaster, longtime voice of the Buckeyes, Paul Keels.
Present.
And Hall of Fame coach, former Ohio State head coach John Cooper. It is always a great night when we can talk football with Coach Cooper.
Always great to be with you guys.
Coach Ryan Day will join us later this hour. Coach Cooper, Ohio State just continues to roll along. The defense is obviously playing great. Offense is humming. If you were coaching this football team, what would you be working on this week?
First of all, I'd rest my players a little bit. We've already had with some tough ball games. We've played, 6 games already? 7 games already. I'd rest them a little bit, but then I'd go back to fundamentals, which I'm sure we're going to do. I've said this every time I've been on the radio. We are doing a great job coaching these kids this year. We got a lot of coaches, but there's nobody standing around, and I think you can always get better. I think they'll work real hard on fundamentals and not turning the ball over, not beating yourself, throwing the ball, catching the ball, blocking, tackling. Probably maybe put in a new player or two. Although defensively, I think we can't do anything more on defense than what we've been doing. But I think we'll work on fundamentals and get better.
Jim, used to be no bye weeks. Now you have 2. I mean, this is the second one within a month or whatever. What do you anticipate? We hear improvement week. Is it similar to the first bye, or will it maybe be a little bit different this week?
Well, it used to be done before Thanksgiving, too. So they had all these buys there, and it makes the season a little bit longer. But, no, I think what do they do, like Coach talked about? Fundamentals, technique, work on your weaknesses, self-scout, find out what you're doing or what people are trying to pick up, trying to use that against you. And then, as Coach mentioned, some of these guys that have played 1,000 reps in their career already, give them some rest. Let them make sure that they're fresh for this 5-game stretch run. Well, hopefully 6 with the Big Ten Championship.
Paul, the defense, Coach Cooper mentioned this, just continues to impress. Limit Wisconsin to just 144, 2 of 11 on third down. Their longest rush was from their punter, and they pitch a shutout. Is there another team playing better defense than Ohio State right now? And I guess, is this about as good as it gets?
I think it is. I don't know that there's anybody that's playing this good, Skip. You think about what this defense has done. They've taken advantage of the issues the opponent has had. And we saw last Saturday, Wisconsin has their own issues. But even against better offenses, Ohio State's been able to limit them. They've been able to take it. We saw again last Saturday, one instance that started with a short field. And it seems as though it's coming from all different points. It's not just the defensive line. It's not just the linebackers. It's people flying all over making plays.
For all three of you, Coach Day has preached staying hungry all season. 4 teams in the top 10 lost on Saturday, and including on Friday as well. Is that enough? Seeing 4 teams in the top 10 go down, Coach Cooper, is that enough to keep a team hungry?
There's no question about it. He's got their attention, I can tell you right now, and he's coaching. He's out there coaching. He's gone from drill to drill to drill and talk about how important it is not to have a bad practice. We can't afford to have a bad game. I mean, you got to give these other people a little bit of credit, but we're doing all the right things on the football field.
Paul?
I think the players are listening to the fact that there's one of Coach Day's favorite sayings now is the issues are always there, and they're listening. And many of these players went through last year. They suffered that loss to Oregon. They suffered the loss to Michigan. Now, despite that, they were able to reach the ultimate goal. But they understand how easily things can go the other way and how a team that's not expected to win can jump up and beat somebody.
This team has been focused since February, since they started spring ball. I mean, they took down the banners. Hey, we don't want to see all that stuff because we've done it. That's old news. We want to win another one. It's, we want to be the only team in Ohio State history to go back to back, and that's the guys, the captains. Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs over in the defensive side of the ball. Brandon Ennis, Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, guys on the offensive spot, Austin Sareveld. That's what those guys are preaching. So. You got to be hungry each and every week, play like you're 0-0, and then go out there and see if you can earn that day's victory.
Tonight's broadcast, as well as all of our Buckeye Roundtables throughout the season, are available on our flagship station's YouTube page. Simply search WBNS Radio on YouTube. You can watch it live or later if you miss any part of it. You can also download the Buckeye Roundtable podcast wherever you find your favorite podcasts, and be sure to subscribe to both. Fans, you could win a catered party for up to 20 people at your home for an away game this season, plus a behind-the-scenes tour of Ohio Stadium for 10. The Giant Eagle Tailgates and Tour Sweepstakes is presented by Pop-Tarts, Rice Krispie Treats, and Coca-Cola. Register today at ohiostatebuckeyes.com/tailgates for your chance to win. Ohio State's Idol this week. They will host Penn State next Saturday. We'll be on the air with the AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show beginning at 10:30 a.m. Up next, our 60-second timeout as the Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
More of Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Ohio State fans. Next time that snack craving hits, Burger King has you covered with the O-Fry-O bundle. You get a medium fry, 8-piece chicken fries, 8-piece mozzarella fries, and an 8-piece chicken nuggets, all for just $10. It's perfect snack fuel for one, wherever and whenever you're cheering on the scarlet and gray. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Tax extra.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
AgPro has been family-owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
When you're here, you understand what it means to be a Buckeye. And at Elk & Elk, we're proud to wear scarlet and gray every Saturday. Every client, every day, means if you're ever injured, we're proud to stand with you in court. And when you're here at the shoe, we're proud to stand with you and cheer on the Buckeyes.
Whether we're here at the big game or in court, we are committed to you.
Elk & Elk, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
For over 37 years, Buckeye Nation has known Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse for serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks are a staple in Columbus, with 3 locations in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. And just like the Buckeyes, we strive for excellence and an experience like no other. Hyde Park is proud to introduce the newly added wine room at our downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining surrounds you, creating the ideal setting for any occasion or the perfect night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back, everybody, into tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King, where you rule, with Jim Lachey, Paul Keels, Coach John Cooper. I'm Skip Mossick. Buckeyes are known for paying it forward. That's why Buckeyes Care strives to serve the betterment of our community by positively impacting families across Ohio. Join partners American Electric Power, Donato's, Kroger, the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the James Cancer Hospital, Huntington Bank, and WBNS-TV in Columbus in supporting this cause at ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Buckeyes Care.
Buckeye Roundtable, 60-second timeout.
Lots to try to squeeze into this Burger King bag of goodies here, so we'll do our best. Ohio State had nearly 500 yards of offense, 491 to be exact, but under 100 on the ground with an average of 3.5. Is it just taking advantage of what Wisconsin's given you, nitpicking, or an area of concern that needs to be worked on?
Maybe a little of the first two. They were able to throw the ball and throw it very well. We'd all like to see them run, and we saw a few more samples of some runs that looked like they had the potential to break out. Nitpicking maybe just a little bit, but they really didn't need to do that much more against what they did.
Just asking the question.
It hasn't bit them yet.
Okay.
That's all I'll say yet. But you better have a running game, in November. And I think everybody knows that. And you got to work on it. And you got to continue to emphasize. They're 150 a game, which is, kind of what you shoot for, especially from my NFL experience. What did Coach Meyer always say? 250, 250.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to be balanced. He wanted to run for 250 and rush and pass for 250. And, he did that. He was able to accomplish that.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, he did play more plays. But to have that running attack, certainly we saw that pay off at the end of last year.
Mm-hmm. Coach Cooper?
Big Ten Conference. It's the middle of October, guys. The weather ain't going to get any warmer. I'm telling you right now. It's going to be cold. We got and we will improve our running game. No question about it.
It was interesting to see, Bo Jackson and Isaiah West get the bulk of the carries. I mean, have they shown you as far as what's impressed as far as what they've done? And Jim, you as well can speak of this as far as what you've seen in practice.
Well, Bo Jackson, there's something different when he's got the ball. You can see it, and we've even seen it a couple times when he's caught the ball coming out of the backfield. And Donaldson has kind of carved a rollout for himself in the red zone, down inside the 5, and when they need short yardage. Still, you got to hope that James Peoples is somebody who can bring something there. He's a guy that got a fair amount of reps early, but then lost some of that to Bo Jackson. And it's hard to compare that 3 or 4 to what Ohio State got from the 2 they had last year. But, Coach, as you said, the weather's going to make it more necessary to be able to get some of those tough yards.
What are you seeing from West specifically in practice? Obviously, he's shown them enough. We're like, we got to get this kid in the game.
No, I agree, and I think he's always been very, very solid. Now the key is, you got to be able to pick up blitzes. That's something every young running back has to learn. Because when face it, if you're a 4-star, 5-star running back in high school, you're not blocking much. You're running all the time. So you got to learn how to block, and you got to trust, and you got to understand that. And I think he's picked that up. He's worked on it. And stepped up. He had 12 attempts coming into the ball game. He ran the ball 9 times and was very, very effective. And fresh legs, young legs, that's what you need at running back. Guys that can go out there and get results. And I think they all have a role. And he's going to play them all, because I think he learned from Quinshon Travion. If you got 2 healthy at the end of the year, it's going to pay off.
I've said all season long, if you look out there, if there's one guy covering Smith, throw him the football. If there's 2 guys out there, run the ball. You got more people that they got to gang up to stop our running game. They got to double team our wide receivers.
All right, next up, again, when you can throw the ball like what we've been seeing from Julian Sand, I mean, 36 of 42, 393, 4 touchdowns. Why wouldn't you throw the football?
Well, and not just, Coach, you were saying that about Jeremiah Smith, but now Carnell Tate is getting double coverage. And Brandon Ennis finally got into the end zone, and we've seen the young Quincy Porter now become more of a point of emphasis when he gets out there. So, not that they're going to eschew the run, but when you can throw the ball the way they have, and also with what the tight ends have given them, why not keep going to what works?
I started to say that tight end's open a little bit down the middle.
It sure is. And he can move after he gets it,
Yeah, he did well, and Kazmarek had a TD.
He had a TD.
Should we start hearing more Heisman chatter a little bit with what we're seeing from Julian Sand? Hard to believe he's only 7 starts, and this is what we're seeing.
I think you are. I think, people are talking about his odds, went from 14-1 now to 3 or 4-1. So, I mean, he's really improved his stock, so to speak. And he's going to get more of these national games, starting with Penn State. It's going to be a 12 noon kickoff. And there'll be a lot of eyeballs on that. And certainly if we can, get up to the team up north, there'll be a lot of eyeballs on that. And if he takes care of that business and plays well against Indiana, I don't know how you can't give it to him. I mean, it's hard because there's other guys that are key contributors on our team right now that could very well deservedly be in that talk. But as we know, the quarterback gets all the money and all the glory.
Special teams next. Gave up a 4th and 19 when Wisconsin punter Sean West looked to go on his own on a keeper. But what kind of teachable moment does that lend itself to? I mean, usually a fake, you're looking 4th and 7. 4th and 6, 4th and 19, you think you're pretty safe.
Well, yeah, and it was that high snap that kind of created the lane that allowed West to run up the right side. I don't think there's any question that was not a called fake punt. It was because of how discombobulated it was. And, Buckeye reminders. Isn't that what they say over there, Jim?
Coach, I'm sure you can answer this too, but probably in that punt return team, you got somebody out there spying to make sure, that they don't take off and run.
We'll get that covered this week.
I'm sure.
We'll get that covered
Probably
this week.
already has been.
I was going to say after the game, during the game, after that happened, I had my binoculars on, Coach Day, and, who he was talking to, Rob Keys, a special teams coach, and, there's a few players that got summoned to the 50-yard line to talk, and they wanted to, did you see this? Did you look at this? So they'll get that settled.
All right, real quickly, I think I know how this is going to go, but rate the opponent. Times are tough in Madison, and schedule's not favorable at Oregon, then Washington, at Indiana, Illinois, at Minnesota. Do they get any of them?
No, and injuries have been a big part of that. We mentioned it during the game broadcast. Luke Fickell's 3 years. Every year, their projected starting quarterback at the beginning of this season has been hurt and out for either the whole season or most of it. They had more injuries Saturday. So it's hard to imagine, and especially if any of those injuries linger, it's hard to imagine they get any more wins.
Coach?
No, I agree exactly what it's already been discussed. And if you don't have a good offense, guys, the crowd is not a big factor in the game. We go to play Wisconsin. That was a loud place for the entire game.
Yeah.
I mean, we had to block a field goal one year to get a tie. The last play of the game, I think it was up there. But we got to do a better job of putting them away early, like we did. Put them away early.
Rate the opponent.
Yeah.
We talked about this. We laughed. The only guy that we would take is our punter. Everybody else is, and he averaged 52.4.
That has any eligibility left after this year.
Yeah, otherwise, I like what we got.
All right. Coming up next, we will break down this past weekend around the Big Ten. That is next as tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
You're listening to Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Ready? It doesn't matter if you're playing hard or working hard. Your workout only works out if you recover right. Chocolate milk helps you recover for what comes next. It's delicious and contains the right mix of protein and carbs to help refuel exhausted muscles. From biking to bench presses, Milk's protein helps you build lean muscle and gain more from your workouts.
Ready? Recover. Repeat. Brought to you by the American Dairy Association Mideast, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
True North convenience stores are your coffee and fountain champions. Fuel up your game day with True Rewards. Buy 6 True Brew coffees or True Oasis fountain drinks and get your 7th free. Whether you're heading to a game or watching from home, grab a True Brew coffee or an ice-cold True Oasis fountain drink to keep you going all 4 quarters. Find True Rewards in your app store or visit TrueNorthStores.com to get started. True North convenience stores. Fast, friendly, clean. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Buckeye fans, this is for you. Level up with the brand new AAA Buckeyes MVP membership. You'll receive all the benefits of AAA, such as 24/7 roadside assistance, plus chances to win tickets to Ohio State sporting events, access to exclusive MVP experiences, along with 10% off select gear at the Ohio State team shop. Already a AAA member? Add the Buckeyes MVP membership for free. Head to AAA.com/Buckeyes to upgrade or join the squad and put your fandom in drive.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with low prices in every aisle. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our low prices. Kroger shoppers never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit AEPenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back, everybody, into tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King, where you rule, with Jim Lachey, Paul Keels, Coach John Cooper. I'm Skip Mossick. Coach Ryan Day coming up 14 minutes from right now. Buckeye fans, power up and carbon down with AEP Energy and Eco Advantage, their 100% renewable energy plan for your home or business. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
It's time for the Buckeye Roundtable Big Ten Breakdown.
Right side of Mendoza in the backfield. Here's the snap. And Fernando fires this one to the end zone, and it is caught! Another tremendous grab for a touchdown by Elijah Surratt!
Don Fisher on Learfield. Indiana started a bit slowly, but roars back to beat Michigan State 38-13.
And you got to think you're going to start hearing Fernando Mendoza talked about as a Heisman candidate, the Indiana quarterback. And while Tate and Smith make for a great receiving duo at Ohio State, Omar Cooper and Elijah Surratt at Indiana, they're pretty darn good.
Yeah, you look at it, the game really wasn't that close. I mean, Indiana only scored 3 points in the fourth quarter.
Right.
No, I really like Mendoza and what he's doing. 21 TDs, 2 interceptions. We know what that looks like because we've got something like that here in Columbus. But he's playing well. Coach Cignetti's got these guys ready to go each and every week. Let's face it, he's been here 2 years and they've lost 2 games. We can never say, as long as we've been doing the radio, we can never say that about Indiana. They've only had 2 losses in their last, 20-some games.
There have been some years where they just had 2 wins.
No kidding, a lot of years.
To Piscataway, how would Oregon respond to their loss last week as they traveled cross-country to Rutgers?
Whittington behind him, gets the handoff going left, cuts it up, nice big run inside the 15 to the 10 to the 5, touchdown, Noah Whittington.
Jerry Allen on Learfield. Ducks pound Rutgers. Got a feeling that was coming. 56-10.
Well, like you said, Skip, they bounced back after that defeat. But, here's the thing that makes Oregon dangerous. We talked a lot about Dante Moore, their quarterback, and their throwing game, especially with Kenyon Sadiq, their tight end, who might be the Mackey Award winner this year. But as you heard there in that cut from Jerry Allen, they run the ball with Whittington very, very well.
They rushed for 415. I mean,
that's well.
Yeah, that's
pretty
very,
good.
very well. 4 TDs. couple guys over 100 yards with Jordan Davidson.
Again, I point out here, guys, they didn't score in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Wow.
They took the troops out. It didn't run the score at 56 points at the end of the three quarters.
To Ann Arbor, basically an elimination game in the Big Ten race as Michigan hosted Washington.
Underwood under center. Snap. Fakes a reverse. Rolls out to his right. He's got a man wide open in the end zone. Touchdown. Zach Marshall, the first of his career, comes at a great time here in the fourth quarter and gives Michigan a 20-7 lead against the Huskies.
Doug Karsh on Learfield. Tied for three quarters, but I tell you what, too much Michigan in the end. They beat Washington 24-7.
Scary part is Underwood is starting to get better and better as he grows into that quarterback spot. And they were playing without Haynes, the top tailback, and Jordan Marshall just stepped up and really ran the ball very well.
Yeah, he ran for 133 yards. Where did he go to high school, Paul?
Yeah, I'm afraid to say. He went to Cincinnati Moeller.
They're playing well. Their defense is playing well. And, you know, we saw it with Washington. DeMond Williams is a different player, and they totally took him out of his game.
To Iowa City, the Hawkeyes hosted Penn State.
First and goal at the 9. Here's a slot receiver, reverse to Caden Whedon. Touchdown! Touchdown, Iowa. Caden Whedon.
Gary Dolphin on Learfield, still shaking my head, as I'm sure many others are, about Penn State. Iowa beats them 25-24.
But it was Mark Gronowski who was the real star. He rushed for a couple of touchdowns, really helped them from the quarterback spot. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Penn State blocked a field goal and got a touchdown out of that. And it's kind of odd to see a team that gets that kind of big special teams play to lose a game. But again, they were going with Grunkemeyer at quarterback after the Aller injury, and tough spot to throw that young man.
I think Coach Ferentz said at halftime, "Hey, I made a mistake. That's on me. You got to bail me out on this one." And I think his troops responded.
Coach Cooper, how surprised are you as far as what's been happening at State College?
Oh, very surprised. I really thought Penn State would be the second best team we played this entire year, but that hadn't happened.
To the Rose Bowl, where UCLA hosted Maryland.
Motion out of the backfield. It's a handoff to Thomas. He's got room. It's Frias. Anthony Frias is free at the 20, at the 15. Chased from behind. There he goes. Touchdown. His first as a Bruin. He went 55 yards.
Josh Lewin, UCLA Radio. Bruins win their third straight, beating Maryland 2017.
Kind of tells you what a different voice can do when a coaching change gets made sometime. Iamaleava playing the way everybody thought he would in Knoxville. And, you know, Maryland, their one conference win was at Wisconsin. Other than that, it's the Maryland we've known ever since they've come in the Big Ten. Do well in a non-conference, they get in league play, and the struggles mount.
Well, they got a young quarterback at Maryland,
I think
Washington.
he's going to be good.
Yeah, I think he will, but I think he struggled a little bit against UCLA. But credit UCLA, like you said, Paul. They found a way to win 4 in a row after going through that and losing your coach. But, you know, different voices right now, different play callers, and they're handling it well, and they're winning.
A couple of years ago, if I'm not mistaken, that quarterback was the top quarterback in college football. It went to Tennessee, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Evanston is next. Northwestern welcomed in Purdue.
Komolafe behind the quarterback Stone. And the fake by Stone. He'll loft it into the end zone. Touchdown. Hunter Welsing caught it at the 1 and stepped into the end zone. A little lob pass from Preston Stone. And the Wildcats extend the lead with 13 to go here in the first half.
Dave Ennett on Learfield. Northwestern, a very quiet 3-1 in the Big Ten. They beat the Boilers 19-0.
Skip, you know what was really neat about this game and that day there? They honored their Rose Bowl team with Coach Gary Barnett. And not only was Coach Barnett and a number of the other former players were there, Pat Fitzgerald was there, the former player and the head coach. Now that lawsuit has been settled, and it was great to see some of the video of him there on the sidelines.
Had there been a Big Ten championship game, Coach Cooper, I think there may have been another Rose Bowl team that year.
Absolutely.
From the Ohio State. Yes, yours.
Exactly.
Northwestern, though, Jim, very quietly 3-1.
Well, they ran the ball for 232, so they got their big guys up front are doing well. Their backs are holding on to football, and they only gave up 87-yard rushing. So playing good run defense and having the ability to run the ball, that'll win you some games.
That was the last game, Paul, in that temporary facility they have there at Evanston.
Oh, is that the last one?
Last night. I think they're going to play a couple in Wrigley. And then
That's right.
I can't wait to see the new place.
Non-conference rivalry game had USC playing at Notre Dame.
The back, Love, behind Carr. Love takes the handoff. Right side, big hole. So big, he'll go into the end zone for a touchdown. He had a 63-yarder on the left, and that one could have gone for $1 million. 12 yards and a touchdown, Notre Dame, and the game is just about to be tied.
Pete Arbogast, USC Radio, they could not stop Notre Dame on the ground. Irish win at 34-24.
Remember when we talked after the first game of the year why Notre Dame wasn't running Price
and Love, yes.
And Love? They are now. And they also got a big kick return for a touchdown. And I think while USC has gotten better, I think there's still some questions about their defense.
And I think Chris Ash should get some credit. He got a lot of criticism when they lost that opener, but lost a couple games. But they're 5-2 right now. They're probably the best two-loss team in the country.
Yep,
so
no doubt.
They'll if they take care of business, they'll find a way to get into playoffs.
They still got the Navy midshipmen who are undefeated.
Notre Dame's lost 2 games. They cannot afford to get upset one more time.
It was funny looking at Chris Ash on Saturday. I mean, it was raining so hard. He's not wearing a hat.
Oh, I saw that, yeah.
It's like he's soaking wet. Final stop, Minneapolis, where the Gophers hosted Nebraska.
Calling the signals, waits for the snap, and wants to throw. Lobs one toward the end zone. It is caught! Touchdown! Lemecki Brockington! And what a beautiful strike from the redshirt freshman quarterback, Drake Lindsay. 20 yards on the hookup.
Mike Grimm on Learfield, Minnesota. A big win for them, knocking off number 25 at the time, Nebraska, 24-6.
And a big defensive night for the Gophers. A bunch of sacks against Dylan Raiola. And there's a big question out there. Has Raiola gotten any better? And you can understand why people would think, no, he has not.
Well, no, if you sit there in the pocket and wait for it, you got to be a managed game a little bit, right? You're not going to make every throw, and sometimes you got to give the defense credit and throw the ball away, get rid of it, find the open receiver in a hurry. You can't hold it as long as he does. Not certain I'm not bailing out the offensive line. They got to do better too, but he's got to make better decisions. But other than that, he's a good quarterback.
Minnesota outscored him 17 what was it, 17-0 in the second half.
Yeah. Outlasted them.
Coach Cooper, you're the only one that can speak on this. I mean, not that he did anything wrong and not that he answered any questions wrong, but you have to wonder a little bit. Matt Rule was answering the Penn State question all week as far as, are you going to be in line for that job? And he answered it correctly, but at the same time, that could take away a little bit as far as what you're prepping.
Absolutely. No question about it. No question about it. You need to keep your mouth shut and finish the season.
This week, UCLA is at Indiana. We'll be very interested to see. Again, the Bruins have been playing well the last 3 weeks. Obviously, Indiana's rolling.
And they played them last year, if I believe it. So surprising you get a West Coast team in back-to-back years.
Northwestern is at Nebraska. Purdue will host Rutgers. Illinois is at Washington. We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, that's going out to Washington. We know how that can be, but I got to think Illinois is going to they got a good defense, and I think they'll be able to slow down Washington's offense, and we'll see if Illinois' offense can generate some points.
Minnesota is at Iowa. Could be an interesting as far as somebody staying at least a little bit in the Big Ten race there. Wisconsin is at Oregon. Michigan will be at Michigan State. Of course, Ohio State is idle. They will host Penn State next Saturday, 12 noon kick at Ohio Stadium. Up next, we are scheduled to be joined by Ohio State coach Ryan Day as tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
This is Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag BuckeyesCare.
Hey, Ohio State fans, are you looking to score big with your home equity? Union Home Mortgage will help you unlock the value of your home and fund the promises you've made to yourself and your family. If you need to pay off debt, have home improvements, or whatever your family needs are, visit UHM.com and score financial freedom with Union Home Mortgage, the official home lending sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Union Home Mortgage Corp. is an equal housing opportunity lender and MLS number 2229.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours.
A team that studies the unique makeup of your disease to develop a personalized treatment plan.
You're choosing our region's only comprehensive cancer center designated by the National Cancer Institute.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
The great thing about Atlas Butler is they do it all. Heating, cooling, plumbing.
Look, I'm busy with work. I don't have time to wait around or deal with lots of people. One company, one call, and they do it all. Wonder if they'll clean out my inbox. Seriously, offer that service. Please.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Around here, it's all or nothing. And Toyota's got more all-wheel drive choices than anybody. Now through November 3rd, get 4.75 APR financing on remaining new 25 Corolla gas models. Excludes GR and Corolla Cross. Or lease a gas-powered 26 Corolla LE for $209 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Your Ohio State flagship station, The Fan. You're listening to the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back, everybody, into tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King, where you rule, with Jim Lachey, Paul Keels, Coach John Cooper in with us tonight. I'm Skip Mossick. Ohio State 34-0 winners at Wisconsin on Saturday. Joined for a few minutes now by Coach Ryan Day. His comments are presented by Kroger. And, Coach, another dominant performance by your team, especially on defense. As you enter the second bye of the season, I mean, you preach staying hungry. Does seeing what else happened in college football, even just this past weekend, for the top 10 going down, does that help keep that hunger alive?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a good reminder. You know, we're all in the hotel and we're watching those Friday night games, and it just gets everybody's attention. You know, and I think it's good. It was, interesting doing bed check and going around, and just about every room was watching those games and into it. I think our guys, love the game, love football, and it's good to, make sure that we understand that we got to bring it on a week-to-week basis, and that we know every week an opportunity to get the Indianapolis on the line.
Coach, congratulations on win number 77, but what's been impressive to me is the first half success. You know, we're outscoring opponents 120-12. I mean, that's got to have a good plan. You got to have good players to get that accomplished.
Well, we talked about getting off to a fast start, and especially when you're on the road, it sets the tone early in the game. So, we want to make sure we're doing that. And, it comes down to our preparation. And, I think for our guys, we've brought the right energy at the beginning of games, which I think is another big part of it. Our guys, they're not professionals. They're still, 18 to 22-year-olds, and, they have to learn the ability to bring it every week. And if we stay consistent with our preparation, it gives us a chance to do that. And we know it's a long season, so every week we got to recharge and bring it on Saturdays.
Coach, you talked a lot about how your defense, and we've talked a lot about it too, how well your defense has played. But late in that game Saturday, when you had backup guys in there on defense trying to keep Wisconsin off the scoreboard, what was it like to see the players on the sidelines encouraging the players on the field?
Yeah, well, one of the things we talk about is celebrating with your teammates and playing for your teammates. And when that jumps off the screen to to other coaches, to people who are watching the game at home, and then obviously people in the stadium, it says a lot about your team. And we know the best team in the end is going to win. And when guys who are in the game are playing hard, regardless of what the score is.
Okay.
The guys who are on the field, they're the ones that are encouraging, the guys that are on the field. And I think it's important because they know that, they need to build depth. They need to encourage their teammates, but they also need to build depth, and we all need those guys because it's going to be a long season.
Coach, what's your schedule this week? I know we got an open date. Players, coaches can go out recruiting and stuff like that. What's the schedule?
Yep. So majority of the coaches are on the road today recruiting, and they'll be on the road on Friday as well. I will be, with them. And then tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday, we'll practice. We'll give the players Friday and Saturday off, and then we'll get back to work on Sunday.
Good. Coach, got to ask you about Julian Sain. Very impressive, and obviously the rest of the Big Ten agreed because they named him the Offensive Player of the Week along with being the Freshman of the Week. But, throwing, he's always had, you could see his arm. But what he's learning, and I think he has learned these last couple games, is how to move around in that pocket. I mean, some of those things he does to buy extra time with his feet was amazing to me, to get his body in position to make some of those throws down the field, because he was moving around a lot. And then he did actually rush a couple times, and that's going to help, for defenses down the road to have to look at that.
Yeah, I'd like to tell you that's coaching, but it's not. It's just an innate feel. It's a natural instinct that he has, that he can see the field, but he can feel the rush, and that's important. Not every quarterback does that. Some quarterbacks, they feel what's going on downfield, but look at the rush, and that's not what you want. But Julian made a couple plays off schedule that I thought were tremendous. Like, to your point, stepped up when he needed to step up in a big way, and some of the protections. And, I think when you look at his game, it's improving each week, but a big part of it is his footwork and his reads downfield.
Coach, I used to tell my coaches every year you got to recruit. But I want you to recruit players that can play better than you can coach.
Right.
Good players make better coaches out of us. Yeah.
That's right. You got to overcome the coaching sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Jim was asking you about Julian Sain and his movement, but when you think of that first touchdown at Carnell Tate, and we've talked a lot about how he has really advanced his game, but seeing a guy grab the ball the way he did on that play and others, and Jeremiah Smith certainly has done that, obviously that's got to be all part of the skill set that some of these talented receivers bring in.
Yeah, I think everyone has to make the transition from, just running routes on air and 7-on-7, actually playing the game of football. And it starts with blocking. You can't just run routes and be a route running specialist. You got to get your nose dirty. You got to block and be a part of the run game. That's important as a receiver. I think you've seen our guys do that. And then the next step is making contested catches, especially on third down and in the red zone. And I think Carnell's doing that as good as anybody in the country right now. I mean, you see some of the catches he's making with bodies draped all over him, and then coming down with it. And I think that's important. And then obviously the run after the catch. Ability to take care of the football and become a running back when the ball's in your hands. And that's the physicality of the game that, some receivers, learn and others don't. And you're seeing Carnell's game take off because I just think the overall physicality of his great game has taken the next step.
Coach, we got to talk defense. Second shutout of the year, under a touchdown a game, just another dominant performance to get that accomplished. But a lot of players, Arvell, Caden Curry, Caleb Downs, Sonny, interception, they all played that role. But to see how excited that defensive team was when Aaron Scott stopped them, turned them over on downs in that 4th and 5, that to me showed that whole unit kind of come together, and the whole team appreciate what that moment was and what they've worked for and how important it was. And, you're playing young guys. You played a lot of freshmen in that game. But to still see them all kind of come together and cheer for each other was a nice moment.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it speaks to the culture, and I think that's as important now as it's ever been. And those are the things that we encourage, and we'll show that during our meeting tomorrow. And that's what we're looking for. When you make a play, celebrate with your teammates. And I thought defense played really well in the game. Stopped the run. I think it was 7 3-and-outs maybe. That's just tremendous. And obviously the early turnover, gave us some momentum early on in the game. But we got to get a bunch of guys some reps, although there wasn't a whole bunch of snaps on defense. But when we were out there, we were playing really hard.
Buckeye Coach Ryan Day. Coach, we always appreciate your time. We'll see you for your radio show on Thursday, okay?
Have a good night, guys. Thanks.
Coach's comments presented by Kroger. Kroger Pickup is the easy way to get what you want right when you need it. Try Kroger Pickup today in the Kroger app or at Kroger.com. And you guys both brought it up as far as seeing the other guys on defense, the guys that weren't in the game, really encouraging everybody. They all wanted that shutout.
Oh, certainly they did. And to be able to do it on the road against a conference opponent, I mean, that's kind of a rarity to have happen. But this is a team that seemingly has gone on the road just 3 times. They've gone into what usually are difficult, at least 2 of them anyway, usually are difficult environments. That might have been the quietest we've ever heard Camp Randall Stadium. other than some of the other chants they had about their own head coach. But, they've been able to do things that take the crowd out of the game and then has allowed the game to take hold to where those young guys can get.
That will happen when you don't score a point in back-to-back home games. So it would tend to quiet the crowd
Coach
down.
Cooper's going to say, you got to play that backup quarterback a little bit more. So, right.
And he did for one play.
You know what you're seeing more and more now in college football, though? It used to be you had 6 linemen. Then it was 5 linemen. Then it was a 4-3. Yeah. Now it's an NFL lineman, NFL lineups. I've seen they put out 8 people in the line of scrimmage and rush 3 of them. Or put 8 people up there and rush all 8 of them. You don't know what's happening now. That's the change you see in more teams, more college teams are doing that, including us.
Spend more time with them to coach them. It used to be 20 hours a week, and that still is, I think, during the season. But the off season, you can spend a lot of time.
Yeah, but it's only 9 months a year.
Yeah,
you got them all year.
Coming up, we will hit the red zone. Longtime Ohio State reporter Tim May will join the Buckeye Roundtable show.
More of Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Now, the officials have been talking for quite some time.
All righty, let's see what they have to say.
Upon further review, there is no penalty on the play. However, we have conferred and discovered that Bob, the line judge, has saved a boatload for his kids' college using Ohio's 529 plan. It is tax-free, accepted nationwide. Bob recommends we all go to collegeadvantage.com. First down.
Well, that's not entirely unexpected.
Classic Bob.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, 2-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Experience Buckeye Game Day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
AgPro has been family-owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
American Electric Power is a proud sponsor of Buckeyes Care.
Hi, I'm Janelle Coleman with American Electric Power. AEP comes together with our communities to create a better future every day. Whether we serve, build, or simply share with others, we make Central Ohio brighter for our neighbors. Our collaboration with Buckeyes Care is another way we work to make the future boundless for all.
Fan, Ohio sports destination. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back, everyone, into tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King, where you rule, with Jim Lachey, Paul Keels, Coach John Cooper. I'm Skip Mossick. For every Buckeye touchdown scored this season, the Heartland Bank Community Foundation will make a donation to the USO of Central and Southern Ohio, benefiting our active duty military personnel and their families. For more information or to support our troops, go to usocso.org and be the force behind the forces.
Buckeye Roundtable Red Zone.
Joined for a few minutes now, longtime Ohio State beat reporter Tim May. And Tim, the efficiency in what we continue to see with Julian Sayin continues to be amazing. I know he has some of the best receivers in the country to work with, but I don't care how good you are coming in. Young quarterbacks tend to make mistakes. We're not seeing that. What do you attribute to what we are seeing from this kid at such a young age?
I had his high school coach, Thad McNeil, on the Tim May show a couple of times back when he first showed up, and then earlier this year when the quarterback battle was going on. And, he kept alluding to the fact that this guy has a lot of, and I'm going to use this word, this is my word, that is, but a lot of savvy. When he's always shown that when he's played the quarterback position. He's also shown the ability to move around, and people forget, he was considered a dual threat quarterback for the most part coming out of high school, and that's what attracted, Alabama to him along with Ohio State and everybody else. But without a doubt, his right arm, his quick release, and his uncanny accuracy, not just accuracy, but the ability to throw people open, I think is now it's opened a lot of people's eyes to just how good this guy is and how good he can be. And then when you surround him with two, in my opinion, the best receiver tandem in the country, and you could probably put one or the other of these guys on any other team in the country, and they would start also. I'm talking about, of course, Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate. That's lethal. And it was good to see Ohio State go into that game. I talked about this on our tailgate show on Saturday. Everybody was talking about the running game and everything. I go into this game and do what you do best and point out the fact that you've got these two great receivers and a guy throwing the ball extremely well. And, and they did exactly. It's like Ryan Day and Brian Hartline were listening to me. And I'm not taking any credit for it, but they approached it like an NFL game. I thought that was, or an NFL team, I thought that was so cool the way they went about business on Saturday.
I almost forgot what I was going to ask you after you said that about them listening to you. But what they're doing, throwing the football, Tim, does that kind of mitigate the lack of numerous explosive running plays?
Yeah, of course it does, Paul. And, you heard me ask Ryan on Wednesday last week about, is there anything wrong with this running game that a couple of breakaway or a breakaway run wouldn't solve? And he knew what I meant. I mean, I was being facetious, but sometimes you pop the balloon, and or you pop the piñata and good stuff falls, right? And that's pretty much what they're looking for. But, man, I'm really intrigued by what I'm seeing with Isaiah West. And I've got Matt Wilhelm on my show this week, or breaking today. I mean, talking about coaching against him in high school last year, Lakewood St. Ed's against St. Joe's, and just what a talent he was, obviously, to everybody. And now everybody's seeing it, right? And, boy, you couple him with Bo Jackson, and you've got a four-man battle for playing time there in that running back room. I think it's very interesting at this moment.
Tim, as Skip likes to say, rate the opponent in Wisconsin and, the job that Luke Fickell's doing.
That's what I was talking about on Wall-to-Wall Sports the other night. You can sit here and you can feel really good about a shutout if you're Ohio State. You feel really good about scoring 34, but that is not a very good football team. And you look at their struggle at quarterback, not just to have the guy you want starting at the beginning of the year hold up it through at least 5 or 6 games. That hasn't happened under Luke. And then the backups haven't been that good. So that's what you got, right? And then defensively, I think defensively they're okay, but the defense has to play so long.
Tim, my question to you, who is the second best team in the country?
I think Indiana's got an argument for that, and also Alabama, even with one loss. But the way Alabama's run this gauntlet here the last 4 games, there's no denying that they found some things. I mean, Kalen DeBoer, they're finally running Kalen DeBoer's offense that he ran at Washington a lot more with Ty Simpson. I'm very impressed with that, but I think those are your top 3. and then maybe look around a little bit. I know you can make arguments for everybody else, but I'm impressed by Indiana and Ohio State starting off both undefeated. They won't meet until the Big Ten championship game, but Alabama has more tests ahead of them. But where Alabama was after that Florida State loss and where they are now, night and day.
Tim, what are some of your keys to beating Penn State? Again, that's in about 12 days.
Take them seriously. This is not UCLA losing its head coach. This is Penn State, a loaded roster, fairly loaded roster, but now with a backup quarterback running the show. We saw how well they played at Iowa, but just couldn't hold on again. Right, they're bugaboo. But the bottom line is this is a talented team that just needed a new direction. And if you're going to get rid of a guy at the end of the year, which is what it sounded like they were going to do, why not get a head start on it? I understand that thinking, but you never know what a new head coach is going to resuscitate in a program at just the right time.
Tim May, we always appreciate your time, your insight. We'll talk to you later in the week, okay?
I love watching you guys on TV. I'm watching right now. Coach Cooper takes more notes than I do.
We'll wave to you there. We'll put on the Burger King crown. It'll be right there for it, which is great. Tim May joins us each and every week here on Buckeye Roundtable. Hour number 2 coming up. Boy, the first hour just flew by. We have our high school segment, our Archie Griffin High School Player of the Week Award, brought to you by Encova Insurance. Our American Dairy Association Mideast's top high school performances, and there were some good ones in our weekly whip around the state. We'll hit the sidelines with Tyler Danberg. Our Inside Access this week, Patrick Murphy from Bucknuts 24/7 Sports will hop on the show as well. All that and more. Hour number 2 of tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show here on the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
James Peoples here, running back for the Ohio State Buckeyes. You have to check out the brand new AAA Buckeyes MVP membership. Get all the benefits of AAA, such as 24/7 roadside assistance, plus chances to win tickets to Buckeye sporting events, access to exclusive MVP experiences, along with 10% off select gear at the Ohio State Team Shop. Already a AAA member? Add the Buckeyes MVP membership for free. Head to AAA.com/Buckeyes to upgrade or join the squad and put your fandom in drive.
For over 37 years, Buckeye Nation has known Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse for serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks are a staple in Columbus, with 3 locations in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. And just like the Buckeyes, we strive for excellence and an experience like no other. Hyde Park is proud to introduce the newly added wine room at our downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining surrounds you, creating the ideal setting for any occasion or the perfect night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
At Ohio State, we are the never afraid to innovate teams, the agile, get it done teams, the achieve more together teams, and the improve people's lives teams. Together, we are the Ohio State University.
Learn more about Ohio State at osu.edu/impact.
Around here, it's all or nothing. And Toyota has more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else. Like the best-selling Toyota Camry. Now through November 3rd, get 4.75 APR financing on remaining new 25 Camrys. Or lease a new 26 Camry LE for $279 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium, presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
Always and forever your Ohio State flagship station.
WBNS FM HD1 Columbus.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Good evening, I'm Tyler Danberg. Number 1 Ohio State is on bye this week before hosting Penn State November 1st at noon. More Buckeye Roundtable up next on The Fan. Buckeyes quarterback Julian Sayin was named Big Ten Player and Freshman of the Week after tossing a career-high 393 yards at Wisconsin. Wide receiver Carnell Tate accounted for 111 of those yards. Here's Tate on Sayin.
Jude continued to be accurate each and every week. He's throwing very catchable balls and very soft balls that give you the chance to go out there and make a play.
It's the best two words in sports. Game 7. The Mariners travel to the Blue Jays in the final game of the ALCS at 8:10. Winner faces the Dodgers in the World Series. On the eve of NBA opening night, the Nuggets signed Christian Brown to a 5-year, $125 million extension. The Hawks and Dyson Daniels reached a 4-year, $100 million extension as well. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
When you're here, you understand what it means to be a Buckeye. And at Elk & Elk, we're proud to wear scarlet and gray every Saturday. Every client, every day, means if you're ever injured, we're proud to stand with you in court. And when you're here at the shoe, we're proud to stand with you and cheer on the Buckeyes.
Whether we're here at the big game or in court, we are committed to you.
Elk & Elk, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with low prices in every aisle. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our low prices. Kroger shoppers never compromise. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King, is on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
And welcome back, everybody, into hour number 2 of tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show, presented by Burger King with Jim Lachey, Paul Keels, Coach John Cooper in with us tonight. I'm Skip Mossick. Ohio State is idle this week. They will host Penn State a week from Saturday. More on that coming up, but right now it's time to talk some high school football.
It's time for the Encova Insurance High School Player Award on Buckeye Roundtable.
One of the highlights of the Buckeye Roundtable show is the presentation of the Encova Insurance Archie Griffin Athlete of the Week Award. During each roundtable show, Encova Insurance and the Ohio State Sports Network honors a high school athlete for their outstanding play and team leadership. And tonight's recipient is senior defensive back / wide receiver Savion Lewis from Villa Angela St. Joseph High School up in Cleveland. Friday night, Lewis had 2 interceptions on defense, including a 54-yard pick 6, and added 3 receptions for 77 yards on offense as Villa Angela St. Joseph defeated Benedictine 33-22. The Vikings are coached by Jeff Rotsky. They're 7-1 and currently sitting in 4th place in Division III, Region 9. They will host Delaware Hayes on Friday night. Again, congratulations to Savion Lewis from Villa Angela St. Joseph High School, the recipient of this week's Encova Insurance Archie Griffin High School Athlete of the Week Award. Encova Insurance, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Time now for Buckeye Roundtable's American Dairy Association Mideast top performers and our whip around the state.
Good night on both sides of the ball from Savion Lewis up there in Cleveland, but that was not the only top performance from this past weekend.
No, sir. I got Black River quarterback Dominic Bell was 20 of 27 for 402 yards and 5 touchdowns in Black River's 48-7 win over Wellington.
How about Hawken quarterback Donovan Moorhead, 35 for 45 passing, 423 yards, and 6 touchdowns, leading Hawken past Harvey 49-46.
Gahanna running back Leon Cummings. He had 12 carries, guys, for 146 yards and a touchdown. Also recovered a fumble for a touchdown on defense, leading Gahanna past Grove City 44-20.
Cincinnati Anderson running back Jordan Davis had 17 carries for 78 yards and 3 touchdowns and added 8 receptions for 101 yards as Anderson defeated Winton Woods 37-30.
How about St. Clairsville quarterback Sam McLean, 10 of 16 passing for 111 yards and a touchdown, and added an additional 94 yards on the ground as St. Clairsville beat Indian Creek in overtime 28-21.
We've been there.
Yes, we have.
Both places.
Oh, yes, both.
Westerville South quarterback Evan Andrews was 12 out of 17 passing for 112 yards. He rushed for 74 yards and 2 touchdowns. Westerville South defeated Harvest Prep in overtime 29-28.
Avon receiver Grant Barr had 4 catches for 129 yards and a pair of touchdowns in Avon's 43-12 win over Avon Lake.
Let's see. Cincinnati Elder linebacker Derek Uran, 7 tackles, 3.5 TFLs, 1.5 sacks, and a forced fumble as Elder beat Bishop Chartered from Indiana 28-7.
Grove City Christian quarterback Dougie Housley was 15 out of 18 passing, 217 yards, 5 touchdowns. Grove City Christian blank Fisher Catholic 41-0.
Oxford Talawanda safety Kemper McAfee had 13 tackles, including 11 solos in Talawanda's 35-14 win over Mount Healthy Owls.
Cincinnati Christian Hills Academy receiver Alex Wells hauled in 6 passes, 107 yards and a pair of touchdowns in the Eagles' 36-21 win over the Spartans of Roger Bacon.
Sharding running back Drayden Algood rushed for 195 yards, 3 touchdowns in Chardon's 41-23 win over Willoughby South.
All right, guys, we begin our weekly whip around the state now. A big all-around night in Tuscarawas County. Here's WJER's Bill Hammerstrom.
New Philadelphia senior receiver C.J. Carlisle had 7 catches for 137 yards and a couple of touchdowns, plus a bunch of tackles on defense. He also fielded a punt in the game's final minutes on the 1-yard line that led to a safety to wrap up New Philadelphia's 26-24 win over West Holmes. Now Carlisle and the Quakers get set to go across the river to take on their bitter rival Dover. It is the 122nd meeting between the two teams. For WJER in Dover, I'm Bill Hammerstrom.
Week 10 rivalry games, love them. Huge Saturday in Cuyahoga County as we hear from WKNR's Kevin Arnold.
In a potential playoff preview between 2 Division I powerhouses on Saturday, senior wide receiver Zach Ackelman propelled St. Ed's in Cleveland to a 35-10 win over Cincinnati Moeller. Ackelman scored 4 of the Eagles' 5 touchdowns, which all came in the first half, and 2 came on punt returns, including 1 he took 92 yards to the house. Ackelman has already set all-time school records for receptions and touchdowns, has now put himself in the Mr. Football conversation. Next week, St. Ed's will travel to Akron to take on Hoban on Friday night. For WKNR in Cleveland, I am Kevin Arnold.
Northwest Ohio, a big night in Allen County. Here's WIMA's Todd Walker.
Columbus Grove defeated Lima Central Catholic 33-25 Friday night to wrap up their 3rd straight Northwest Conference championship, at least a share, and they ran their conference winning streak to 25. Trevin Baxter set a school record with 18 receptions, many of them on shovel passes in the backfield. He had 172 yards receiving plus a touchdown, and he had the game-clinching interception as Columbus Grove handed LCC their first loss. This week, Grove will try to win the NWC title outright when they host Bluffton. From 1150 WIMA in Lima, this is Todd Walker.
Next to Champaign County, big showdown there as we welcome in WPKO's Chad Wilkinson.
Guys, they say good teams just find a way to win. That's what Indian Lake has been doing, as 3 out of the last 4 Friday nights they've had to rally in the 4th quarter to win ball games. This past Friday, they did it at Graham, trailing 21-10 in the 4th quarter before scoring 2 touchdowns in the final 4 minutes to shock the Falcons 24-21. Noah Shirk rushed for 85 yards and a touchdown. Brody Reisinger had 8 catches for 95 yards. And for Graham, Jacob Hoke rushed for 159 yards and a score. The 7-2 Lakers will be playing for a playoff bye this Friday night as they host the Northwestern Warriors. From 98.3 WPKO in Bell Fountain, I'm Chad Wilkinson.
Other side of the state, nice night in Washington County. Here's WMOA's Andy Rex.
Guys, the Fort Fry Cadets used their defense to set up the offense in a 46-8 runaway win over Warren on Friday night. Fort Fry forced 5 turnovers. The first 2 set up touchdown drives of less than 30 yards, and later in the game had a 75-yard interception return for another score. 4. Since the season opening loss to Barnesville, Fort Fry has given up a total of 22 points in their last 7 games, including 4 shutouts. Fort Fry wraps up the regular season Friday night hosting Point Pleasant, looking to secure a first-round bye in the playoffs. From WMOA in Marietta, I'm Andy Rex.
Big game in Muskingum County. Here's WHIZ's David Kinder.
For the last 6 years, whoever has won the Tri-Valley Sheridan game has won the Muskingum Valley League Big School Division Championship, and that was the case once again this year. And thanks in part to Tri-Valley running back Levi Wade, it was the Scotties who came out with the league trophy. Wade carrying the ball 42 times for 250 yards and all 5 of his team's touchdowns, including the last touchdown in double overtime to secure a 35-29 victory. Wade, who is just a sophomore, has already rushed for 29 touchdowns this year. The 7-2 Scotties will try to lock up a first-round playoff bye as they host John Glenn this Friday. Reporting for WHIZ Radio in Zanesville, I'm David Kinder.
Still hear Frank Broyles talk about Mike Tomczak like that. Just a sophomore, Keith. Huge night in Licking County as we hear from WCLT's Brian Mays.
The Johnstown Johnnies have won 3 straight, and last Friday night, their running back Ryan Sager was exceptional. Sager had 34 carries, 385 yards, and 4 touchdowns in the Johnnies' 56-20 win over Utica. Sager scored from 7, 14, 47, and 78 yards in the Johnnies' big victory. From WCLT Radio, I'm Brian Mays.
That's the night. Final stop, Knox County. Big games just continue to pile up there. Here's WMVO's Tyler Mathias.
The Fredericktown Freddies will be playing for a share of the Knoxmore Athletic Conference title Friday night when they host Centerburg. But it was one of the top Central Ohio tight ends that turned into a running back this past Friday night that gives them that chance. Senior Gavin Toombs rushed for 58 yards and 4 touchdowns in a 33-18 win against Danville. Toombs also had a pair of sacks to up a season total to 10.5, which also leads the conference. With a Fredericktown win over Centerburg and a Mount Gilead win against Cardington Lincoln, the Indians and the Freddies would tie the Trojans for the top spot in the Knoxmore Athletic Conference. Oh, and Friday night is also the Devil Dog game as Danville hosts East Knox. Reporting from WQIO and WMVO out of Mount Vernon, I'm Tyler Mathias.
Devil Dog game. That's one of the really good ones around the state of Ohio. Great whip around the state. Thanks to all of our great affiliates for those reports. Home teams, Jim Lachey, St. Henry is playing really well.
Yeah, they're 8-1 finish up with Versailles. They beat New Bremen 20-0. The Grandview Bobcats lost to Lucasville Valley Indians 41-8. They'll play Mifflin this week.
As we heard in the reports, Moeller up in St. That's a long way to go to play a game.
Yes, it is. Back in college, used to drive up there and do those games. So the college radio station with Moeller would play St. Ed's.
And I want to say they got an out-of-state team from Michigan.
From Muskegon.
Upper Arlington, Coach Cooper, after a couple of losses, they beat Kaufman. They closed with Davidson this week, so still a nice season for Upper Arlington.
They've had a good year so far, only lost 2 games.
Hartley beat Kip. They close with the Fighting RJ Days at DeSales, and so we'll see how the season ends over there on the east side of Columbus on Friday night. All right, our top performers from around the state was presented by the American Dairy Association Mideast. A reminder from Ohio's dairy farmers, 8 ounces of delicious chocolate milk has 8 grams of protein with the power to fuel everyone, including Ohio State quarterback Tavian St. Clair. He's built like a Buckeye, and you can be too. Learn more at ohiostatebuckeyes.com/built like a Buckeye. We've already told you some wildness in the top 10 this past weekend. We will discuss after further review as the Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
You're listening to Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
The best outcomes for treating cancer come from early detection and early diagnosis.
The James Cancer Diagnostic Center at Ohio State
is designed to provide rapid evaluation and a clear diagnosis.
We are transforming care by giving patients direct access
to cancer experts who study and treat cancer every day.
If you think you have cancer, the choice is clear.
Choose the James Cancer Diagnostic Center.
Ready?
It doesn't matter if you're playing hard or working hard. Your workout only works out if you recover right. Chocolate milk helps you recover for what comes next. It's delicious and contains the right mix of protein and carbs to help refuel exhausted muscles. From biking to bench presses, Milk's protein helps you build lean muscle and gain more from your workouts.
Ready? Recover. Repeat. Brought to you by the American Dairy Association Mideast, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, getting ahead in this world is not as complicated as it might seem. Having the early guidance and counsel of your community banker, one who knows you and your family's story, can make a great deal of difference. Relationships matter. Bank on community banking. I'm Scott McComb, coming over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The great thing about Atlas Butler is they do it all. Heating, cooling, plumbing. Look, I'm busy with work. I don't have time to wait around or deal with lots of people. One company, one call, and they do it all. Wonder if they'll clean out my inbox. Seriously, offer that service. Please.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Experience Buckeye game day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
Around here, it's all or nothing, and nobody has more all-wheel drive choices than Toyota. Now through November 3rd, get 4.75 APR financing on a new 25 RAV4, or 5.75 on RAV4 Hybrid, excludes plug-ins, or lease a gas-powered RAV4 LE for $309 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing, with approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details, or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Hear every Buckeye game every year. The Fan. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back, everyone, into tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King, where you rule, with Jim Lachey, Paul Keels, Coach John Cooper in with us tonight. I'm Skip Mossick. Join Coach Ryan Day and experts from across Buckeye Nation to preview every matchup and break down each week's game. Game Time with Ryan Day, presented by Huntington Bank, airs Game Day Saturday mornings at 9 on 10 TV in Columbus and statewide on OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
Buckeye Roundtable.
Greatest play is under further review.
After further review.
Ball still waits, gets it, he's going to throw. They come with pressure, delivers it right over the middle to Bell. Shakes the tackle. Bell on the loose. Bell to the 5. Touchdown, 36 yards. Miller Moss to Chris Bell.
Paul Rogers on Learfield, Louisville, with maybe the upset of the weekend. Coach Day told us earlier that the team was, pretty much to a man at BedCheck. They were all watching that Louisville-Miami game, but Louisville with the upset, 24-21.
And they coaxed Carson Beck into 4 turnovers in that football game. And the ACC is really kind of in a strange spot, and you'll talk a little more about Georgia Tech later. But, the interesting thing, Skip, Jeff Brom's name, even though he's a Louisville native and played at Louisville, he's now the head coach there. It's kind of interesting now to know whether or not his name might start to get talked about with some of these openings.
I think Jeff Brom's going to get a pay raise here soon.
Good thought, Jim.
I think Louisville's going to keep
kind of like
him.
Signetti did?
Yeah, he's going to keep him there because he's doing some good things.
I think he's going to leave for a better job.
You sure?
Yep.
Staying in the
a lot more money.
Well, there's money out there, as we're saying. Hello, Bloomington. Staying in the ACC, could Georgia Tech remain unbeaten as they headed to Duke?
King fakes the toss, peels off left, breaks away, 15, 10, 5, and he goes into the end zone for the touchdown. 2:10 to go. Texas Hainsaw Massacre, and he might have just chopped this game all up for the Jackets.
Andy Demetro was sitting on that all day Saturday. Georgia Tech radio, it was 10-10 after 3 quarters, but Tech pulls it out at Duke, 27-18.
It's going to be interesting, like we talked about, with the way the ACC is shaken out now, with Miami having a loss, Florida State obviously in a bad way. Could Georgia Tech be a team that's playoff bound?
Yes.
And Duke had a bunch of yards against them, 373 yards passing. Georgia Tech gave up, but they found a way to hang in there and win a ball game, and that's all counts at the end.
Coach Cooper, Georgia Tech, it's been a while since they've had one like this, but they are on a roll.
I was trying to think back. It's been a long time. Those Georgia Tech, what is it, Yellow Jackets?
Yellow Jackets. They used to call them the Ramblin' Wreck, too.
Right.
To the Big 12, could Texas Tech remain unbeaten as they played at Arizona State?
Levitt lines up under center. Levitt pitches to Rayleigh Brown, and Rayleigh Brown trying to get across.
Touchdown.
And he does. Touchdown, Devils. Rayleigh Brown muscles across the goal line with 34 seconds left to go.
Tim Healy, Sun Devil Network, ASU upsets Texas Tech 26-22.
I think the Big 12 is going to be a big jigsaw when you think about some of the teams there that are playing well, but some good teams are not prone to upsets. How about Kenny Dillingham's name maybe being part for some of these big openings that are out there?
You read my mind. They're a team that just finds a way to win. They're hanging in there. They lose ugly, and then, he kind of goes on and says, well, I didn't, it's all my fault. I'm in charge here, and you got to turn it around in a week and beat an undefeated team.
Don't count out Texas Tech, guys. They only lost one game.
Yeah.
We heard
and they got a lot of money out that way.
That's what we've heard.
We heard Coach Cooper say that. Another big game in the Big 12 had Utah at BYU.
Bachmeier under center. They give to Parker Kingston on the end around. Makes a man miss. Parker 10-5 touchdown! Parker Kingston in for 6, and the Cougs retake the lead.
Greg Wrubel, Cougar Network. BYU is still unbeaten. They defeat Utah 24-21.
Who can't love a quarterback by the name of Bear Bachmeier, who wears number 47 and able to pull out a close game there? And we mentioned it talking about BYU last week. This program is a couple of years removed from a difficult year in which they were talking about maybe getting rid of their coach, Kalani Sitake, but just more ammunition to why the Big 12 is going to be really hard to figure out.
Third straight time they won the Holy War. They got it figured out there at BYU because we all have a lot of respect for Coach Whittingham at Utah.
Coach Cooper, again, that is a big rivalry game between Utah and BYU.
Yeah, BYU still undefeated, 7-0. They got a good chance of making the playoffs.
To the SEC, a couple of good ones. Let's begin with Alabama hosting Tennessee.
We're going heavy. We are going real heavy with Hill in the backfield, Simpson the quarterback, toss sweep, Daniel trying to get to the edge, fighting in, touchdown Alabama.
Chris Stewart's on Learfield. Bama beats Tennessee 37-20.
And they've done something that I don't believe anybody, Skip, has ever done. They have beaten 4 ranked teams in a row without having a bye week. So here they are, and then Simpson, their quarterback, playing better than he had. But it just makes you wonder. That loss to Florida State is not looking like a good loss with the way Florida State is plummeted.
Xavier Brown, we had that touchdown, 99-yard interception right before the end of the first half, and that kind of gave him a little jolt there going in the second.
Bama playing well, Coach.
Alabama's got 4 tough games left, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Top 10 matchup as Georgia hosted Ole Miss.
Humphrey in motion, lines up to the right behind the tight end Delp. Play fake, Bowens, throw it across the goal line in the end zone. Caught, touchdown! Touchdown, Lucky! Lawson Lucky with his 3rd touchdown catch of the day. He beats Sage Ryan, the safety, on a dart by Gunner. And the Dogs have the lead, 39-35 with 7:29 to go.
Scott Howard on Learfield. Huge fourth quarter for Georgia. The difference here, they beat Ole Miss 43-35.
And a strong second half by Gunner Stockton at 1 point, 12 for 12, throwing the ball, throwing a rushing score as well. So he by himself has really helped stabilize Georgia with his play at quarterback.
Yeah, Lawson Lucky, that's a nice name to have. And he was lucky with 3 TDs, but where's the defense, right? They talk about that. It's offense, man. That reminds me of a San Diego Chargers score.
You look at them, fourth quarter, Ole Miss couldn't keep up with them. I mean, that was
17 points in the fourth quarter. Shut them out.
To Fayetteville next is Arkansas, hosted 4th-ranked Texas A&M.
All 3 receivers to the right. That's the wide side of the field with the ball on the left hash. Reuben up the middle. Reuben Owens into the end zone. Touchdown Aggies. His 2nd TD rushing tonight.
Andrew Monaco on Learfield. A&M got all they wanted from Arkansas, but they pull it out 45-42.
And they got to be concerned about their defense, the way they gave up 42. But Arkansas, even with an interim coach, Bobby Petrino, apparently their modus operandi now is just to attempt to outscore everybody.
Yeah, well, they're 0-3 in the SEC right now, 2-5 overall. He's got to get a couple wins if he wants to have his name, Bobby Petrino. I'm talking about throwing in that hat.
A&M's got a good chance to be in the playoffs.
No question.
Undefeated, 7-0 right now.
To Nashville as two one-loss teams collided as Vanderbilt hosted LSU.
Under center for Pavia. There's the snap. It's a play action. They roll toward the right. They throw back corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Vanderbilt. Cole Spence. He hauls it in. What a day for Spence, the senior from Georgia. The Doors build the lead on the opening drive of the third quarter, 23-13.
Andrew Allegretta on Learfield. Vandy beats LSU 31-24.
Diego Pavia so happy to get that extra year of eligibility. He struck the Heisman pose in the end zone. But how about LSU? And, interesting, they're at home this coming weekend with Texas A&M. The Villagers might be lighting the torches down there.
Game day, going to Vanderbilt.
Is that so?
Yeah.
For Missouri?
Yeah.
Which is kind of an elimination game for both of those two schools.
Exactly. So, a lot of excitement down there in Nashville.
Vanderbilt and Indiana, guys. Where'd they come from? Anyway?
Exactly. Basketball schools.
It's been a nice, steady incline there at Vandy the last couple of years. Missouri this week. Ole Miss is at Oklahoma. A&M is at LSU. So that's something to keep an eye on late on Saturday. Up next, we'll hit the sidelines with our Tyler Danberg, catching up with Ohio State receiver Carnell Tate. That is next as tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
This is Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. Man, I love that. Schedule at SafeLight.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
SafeLight repair, SafeLight replace.
Hey, Ohio State fans. Next time that snack craving hits, Burger King has you covered with the O-Fry-O bundle. You get a medium fry, 8-piece chicken fries, 8-piece mozzarella fries, and an 8-piece chicken nuggets, all for just $10. It's perfect snack fuel for one, wherever and whenever you're cheering on the scarlet and gray. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Tax extra.
AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
The Donato's Pep Duo Pizza is back, and it brought a pal. The Donato's Pep Duo, loaded with crispy pepperoni and 3 kinds of cheese. Now get a large Pep Duo pizza for just $14.99. Also back, Donato's deliciously dippable pepperoni cheese bread. Now on the $5 Pizza Pals menu for a limited time. More toppings, more flavor, more fun. Donato's, gotta love more.
AgPro has been family-owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
Always and forever your home of the Buckeyes. Home of the Buckeyes. The Fan. You're listening to the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back, everyone, into tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King, where you rule, with Jim Lachey, Paul Keels, Coach John Cooper. I'm Skip Mossick. Be sure to check out the Buckeye Game Day concert series presented by the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer before every home game this season. You have home games here, don't we?
Yeah.
If I remember, outside of St. John Arena in Buckeye Fan Fest. Each week features a different artist on stage 2 hours before kickoff. Get on board and book your cruise today. Visit BuckeyeCruise.com. Go Buckeyes and beat cancer.
This is the Elk and Elk Report on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Jim, Ohio State's receivers and tight ends, boy, really being used a lot. How is it important to have the ball, I guess, being spread around like it is up and down that two deep?
Yeah, and to have a quarterback that can get it down the field and find that open receiver. You know, Jeremiah Smith, you know, since the end of last year, really throughout the playoffs, has been getting double covered. You know, every game he's got double coverage, or they're finding out where number 4 is. And, you know, he had a little battle with Holman out there, but I think overall Jeremiah came up, and a couple passes that were underthrown, he had to turn into DB and make sure it's tipped away. So good play by him. Carnell has been off the charts, you know, what he's been able to do. His touchdown receptions are averaging 29.8 yards per touchdown reception. So he's a big play guy, and that showed up. And now Max Clare has 20 receptions, you know, halfway through the season. So I think he's starting to step up, and still got to work on that blocking. We know that's important for a tight end, but he's certainly a great route runner and it has great hands, can make the plays.
Our Two Deep Report was presented by Elk and Elk. Serious fans of Ohio State athletics, call 1-800-ELK, Ohio, go Buckeyes.
Now for Buckeye Roundtables from the Sidelines Report on the Ohio State Sports Network.
34-0 Ohio State over Wisconsin. As Jim mentioned, huge day for Ohio State's Carnell Tate. 6 receptions, 111 yards, and a pair of touchdowns. After the game, Tate with our Tyler Danberg.
Carnell, this week with a smile, you said that Minnesota was your big game, but then you're looking for another one. Well, you had another big game today. What was today like for you?
Today was a great game for me. I mean, it was a pretty game for me. I wish I can go out there and have a few plays back, but other than that, we just got to continue to be consistent in what we do and be inconsistent in the detail. Keep going out there stacking weeks.
You said an all-right game after over 100-plus yards, pair of touchdowns. What drives you? What pushes you for more?
It's always the will to do more, do better, always execute at the highest level I can be.
Did you feel like this team got closer during this 3-game road stretch in a 4-game span?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We always, whenever we're going to road, it's always us against the world, and then we just got to be there for each other because that's all we got.
How would you break down what happened on your first touchdown? What were you feeling as you flew down the field and then when you made the catch?
Oh, we knew they were in cover 2. I just had to beat the middle runner, and then Drew gave me a great ball to go up there and make a play, and I just happened to go out there and make a play over 2 defenders.
What's it like when you go back and you see Julian and you guys have the embrace that you guys did after that first touchdown?
Just appreciation to him for just giving me the chance to go out there and make a play.
What feels different about the balls that he's placing in front of you and for these touchdowns this week compared to maybe week 1 when you guys did connect for that 40-yard touchdown?
Jude continued to be accurate each and every week. He's throwing very catchable balls and very soft balls that give you the chance to go out there and make a play.
What are you looking forward to most about the bye week?
Just looking forward to getting better as a team, and then just hopefully everybody can get their bodies right and go on, so we can go on the rest of the season with no injuries.
And Paul, don't want to jinx anything, but that's one thing Ohio State has avoided for much of the season. That's the injury bug. Big game though for Carnell Tate.
Oh, no question. And he had 2 receivers draped all over him on that touchdown catch. And you know, this is going to start to open the door more, you would think, with the attention that he's attracting compared with Jeremiah Smith for guys like Brandon Ennis, guys like Quincy Porter. You look at that touchdown pass in the goal line to Will Kazmarek. You know, everybody else was covered as well as a great fake. But, you know, Carnell Tate is really showing in a season in which everybody was talking about Jeremiah Smith going into it. Carnell Tate is showing that he's worthy of the attention.
And Coach Cooper, you've been saying it all season long. It's like, you know, if you're a defense, what are you going to do? I mean, pick your poison. You're going to have to put your mind, put somebody on somebody there. I mean, somebody's going to be open.
I'm thinking the guy that's going to be open is a tight end down the middle. Tight end down the middle. You got to double these wideouts. If you don't, they're going to eat you alive. And that leaves the middle wide open.
Coming up next, Patrick Murphy, Bucknuts 24/7, will join us. Our Insiders Access segment. That's as tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
More of Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, 2-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
True North convenience stores are your coffee and fountain champions. Fuel up your game day with True Rewards. Buy 6 True Brew coffees or True Oasis fountain drinks and get your 7th free. Whether you're heading to a game or watching from home, grab a True Brew coffee or an ice-cold True Oasis fountain drink to keep you going all 4 quarters. Find True Rewards in your app store or visit TrueNorthStores.com to get started. True North convenience stores. Fast, friendly, clean. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 3 trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Around here, it's all or nothing, and Toyota has more all-wheel drive choices than anybody, like the family-size Highlander and the bigger, more powerful Grand Highlander. Now through November 3rd, get a new 25 Highlander or Grand Highlander with 4.75 APR financing, or you can get 5.75 APR financing on hybrid models with approved credit through TFS. Plus, you get 2 years no-cost maintenance. For complete details, go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back, everyone, into tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King, where you rule, with Jim Lachey, Paul Keels, Coach John Cooper. I'm Skip Mossick. Saturday, Ohio State limited to Wisconsin to 0 of 1 scoring on trips inside the 20. This defensive stat is brought to you by Anduril, whose mission is to transform U.S. military capabilities through advanced technology. Anduril, an official sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Buckeye Roundtable Insiders.
Joined for a few minutes now, Patrick Murphy, Bucknuts 24/7 Sports. And Pat, defensively, is this about as good as you've seen from Ohio State on that side of the ball in all your years of covering this Ohio State football team?
Yeah, I think it's certainly up there. Obviously, the 2019 team would have something to say in that conversation. Last year's team, obviously winning a national championship, relying on the defense. But what Matt Patricia's done with this group, and obviously he has a lot of talent, but coming in, I know there were questions, myself included, about how that would all work, but it's been a pretty seamless transition, and he's gotten these guys to play an NFL-style defense. I think you see each week how much it confuses opposing quarterbacks, and the success is you know, I don't even have words at this point with the numbers that they are putting up or limiting offenses to. So, yeah, I mean, it's about as good as you're going to find in the country statistically and just the eye test as well.
You know, going into that game, Ohio State offense is averaging about 60 plays per game. They went with the idea that they're going to get some plays. They played tempo, ended up with 70 plays in the game, and really played fast, especially on the scoring drives.
Yeah, I'm watching the broadcast back, obviously not being there, not hearing that. And the announcers are talking about, does Ryan Day want to kind of put Wisconsin out of their misery early just to, make sure they don't build any confidence. And I don't know if that was Coach Day's thought process going into it, but I think, you got to see what Ohio State can do when they want to pick things up, when they want to throw the ball around. We know the weapons that Julian Sayin has. We know how good Julian Sayin can be. So it was good to, just be reminded, like, hey, they want to go out and throw the ball around. It's obviously something they could do. I think you watch the film of Wisconsin. They've struggled this year covering those guys. So it made sense, take what the opponent is bad at and use it against them. And when you have the weapons that Ohio State has, it makes it pretty easy to do. And Julian was on one on Saturday. So I thought it made a lot of sense to use that, especially as you're still trying to figure out the run game, which is something I think that they will spend a lot of time on during this off week to try and get that going as well.
Murph, you talked about bringing Matt Patricia in to coach the defense. When you look at what's happened since Ryan Day's been the head coach, he's had to make some tough decisions on not keeping assistants, but is what he's done with the ones he's hired, such as Patricia, Chip Kelly, even just 1 year, is that kind of starting to become a significant part of what his coaching tree has done?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we've got to remember, he takes over for Urban Meyer, and he's doing this all for the first time, right? He'd been an offensive coordinator and a quarterback's coach. So he had to make some decisions on staff, and some worked, some didn't. And I think he's kind of found that groove of, okay, these are the kind of guys I want on staff. These are the kind of people. These are the kind of coaches. And it's made for a really good defensive room over there. And then you add Matt Patricia in there, and from everybody I've talked to, and I'm sure you guys as well, like, it's been a perfect fit, not just because of what he can do schematically with this group, but how he's fit in with all of those returning assistant coaches. So, maybe it took a little bit longer than Buckeye fans would have wanted to find that right defense, but you're seeing the benefits of it now with this staff and what they're able to do.
Patrick, there's 10 college coaching jobs open, football jobs. Will Pat Fitzgerald land at one of those spots?
I'd like to see him back just because I enjoyed watching his Northwestern teams. I always enjoyed listening to him talk at Big Ten Media Days or whenever we were able to hear him. He took Northwestern to Big Ten championship games, right? So I don't know why he wouldn't be a guy that people would be interested in. And it's not like he was let go at Northwestern because of anything on the field and the stuff off the field. It's kind of turned out that he didn't have anything to do with that, and he's kind of been exonerated. So, yeah, I would think that he would certainly be a guy, especially if obviously the Penn State job's open, but if other jobs come open in the Big Ten, this is a guy very familiar with that conference, as you guys know. So I would be surprised if we don't see Pat Fitzgerald back coaching a team, this time next year.
We got two great wide receivers. Everybody knows about that, Smith and Tate. I don't know. I'm not sure we're giving our tight ends enough credit. We got they're tight. We don't play a fullback anymore. We got 4 tight ends, right?
5 that play.
That guy. All those tight ends, in my opinion, are good athletes. I think you're going to see them catch a lot more passes down the middles I talked about, because I think these other defenses we're playing are going to start doubling these wide receivers more than they have. So I think we need to give our tight ends a little more credit.
Yeah, I agree. I think Max Clare, over the last 3 weeks or so, has really gotten involved in the passing game, kind of like what most of us expected from him, given what he did at Purdue. It took some time, and he talked about it. Coming in, things were faster and stuff like that, even though he was going from one Big Ten program to another. It's just you're coming to the national champions as opposed to a team that finished at the bottom of the Big Ten last year. I think Will Kazmarek has really established his role. He's not going to have a ton of stats, but you saw on Saturday that big touchdown catch. He can make plays when defenses don't pay attention to him. And, it goes pretty deep. Bennett Christian, Jelani Thurman, Nate Roberts getting in there. They've got some other young guys. And that's a position I know that they really respect what Keenan Bailey's done. I think they're rewarding not only his work with the position, but the players' work by getting them in there. Because they could play 3-4 wide as much as they wanted to, right? But they've got the ability to change up the personnel lookings. And I think they've sort of experimented throughout the first half of the season when they can with what they want to do with those groupings and kind of finding what works best. But I definitely agree the tight ends have been very solid.
Murph, I want to go back to the coaching thing that Jim asked you about. And you were there Saturday. You could sense the angst that the fans have in Madison. What did you make of Wisconsin AD coming out with his statement today about support of Luke Fickell and how they have to invest financially?
Yeah, we went out to dinner Friday night with one of our Wisconsin writers, and he'd kind of gotten some intel that this was coming down the pipe. I assume they were probably briefing those guys that cover the team there that, hey, this is the direction we're going. Look, I think when you hired Luke Fickell and you knew that he wanted to change that offense from the type that it had been at Wisconsin for so long, you had to know it was going to take time. And then you have the quarterback injuries. And I think if you're a football person, you understand what a big deal that is to have your starting quarterback out. Every year he's been there. So I think that they are willing to give him a little bit of time. But we are in an era where, you can only do that for so long, right? I mean, look at James Franklin. Now, if you're going to invest more money, that gives him the opportunities to go out and get, some different type of players. Maybe he can get not just one quarterback that fits the offense, but two to help offset some of those injuries. But look, I think we all know what Luke is as a coach, right? And we all would like to see him do well. So, I'm rooting for him. It was tough to hear the fire Fickell chants. I get it. It's been really bad at Wisconsin. That's as bad as I've seen it when I've been to Camp Randall. So I understand the frustration there, but also I'd like to see a guy like that have some success, and I think the backing is cool to see.
Patrick Murphy, Bucknuts 24/7 Sports. Pat, we always appreciate you hopping on. Have a great night, okay?
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Always appreciate his insight joining us here on the Buckeye Roundtable. Coming up, we will wrap things up with some chalk talk tonight as the Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
You're listening to Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Now, the officials have been talking for quite some time.
All righty, let's see what they have to say.
Upon further review, there is no penalty on the play. However, we have conferred and discovered that Bob, the line judge, has saved a boatload for his kids' college using Ohio's 529 plan. It is tax-free, accepted nationwide. Bob recommends we all go to collegeadvantage.com. First down.
Well, that's not entirely unexpected.
Classic Bob.
Hey, Buckeye fans. Are you thinking of consolidating your debt with a home equity loan? Union Home Mortgage wants you to know the average homeowner has over $200,000 of home equity available, and they can help you get access to your money quickly and easily. Go to UHM.com to get your cash estimate today. You'll score financial freedom with Union Home Mortgage, the official home lending sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Union Home Mortgage Corp. is an equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 2229.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
Hey, Ohio State fans! Next time that snack craving hits, Burger King has you covered with the O-Fry-O bundle. You get a medium fry, 8-piece chicken fries, 8-piece mozzarella fries, and an 8-piece chicken nuggets, all for just $10. It's perfect snack fuel for one, wherever and whenever you're cheering on the scarlet and gray. At BK, have it your way. You rule! Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Tax extra.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Buckeye fans, this is for you. Level up with the brand new AAA Buckeyes MVP membership. You'll receive all the benefits of AAA, such as 24/7 roadside assistance, plus chances to win tickets to Ohio State sporting events, access to exclusive MVP experiences, along with 10% off select gear at the Ohio State team shop. Already a AAA member? Add the Buckeyes MVP membership for free. Head to AAA.com/Buckeyes to upgrade or join the squad and put your fandom in drive.
American Electric Power is a proud sponsor of Buckeyes Care.
Hi, I'm Janelle Coleman with American Electric Power. AEP comes together with our communities to create a better future every day. Whether we serve, build, or simply share with others, we make Central Ohio brighter for our neighbors. Our collaboration with Buckeyes Care is another way we work to make the future boundless for all.
Buckeye football lives here. The Fan. You're listening to the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State athletics.
It's just flown by tonight as tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show with Jim Lachey, Paul Keels, Coach John Cooper down with us tonight. I'm Skip Mossick. We are proudly presented by Burger King. Visit your local BK restaurant to grab your $10 O-Fry O-Bundle. That includes a medium fry, 8-piece chicken fries, 8-piece mozzarella fries, 8-piece chicken nuggets, and a custom OSU crown. All for just $10 at your local Burger King.
Buckeye Roundtable, Chalk Talk.
Coach Cooper, we talked on this earlier in the show. How would you treat this second bye week? And I guess, is it any different than, the first one a month ago?
Well, first of all, we never had 2 bye weeks.
Ever.
We had
lucky to get one.
The season, I thought, was long enough the way it is. But, again, I think you go out there this week, you have to do some recruiting now because some of these coaches are out on the road. But the main thing is I think you go back to what you've done so far this year, the areas that need improvement. Can we tackle better? Can we block better? Can we pass protect better? Can we throw and catch the ball better? And you work on fundamentals. And I think Coach is doing this week. I think you got to rest him a couple of days.
Some teams you might see, Jim, is we got you, Coach, but we're undefeated. We have the best defense in the country. We do whatever we want on offense. Yeah, whatever. We're fine. No, I don't get that sense from this group.
No, when you look at Matt Patricia and what he's done with the defense, I don't sense they're going to rest on their laurels. They're going to come out hungry, seeing how they can improve, and they're one of the best defenses in the country right now. And probably the same thing offensively. There's still a lot more I think we can get into. Our passing game has been fabulous, but I think we got ability with 2 young backs now. Bo Jackson and Isaiah West have kind of moved up those charts. We're going to see a lot more of them the second half of the year, so it's important to get those guys glued in and understand exactly what they need to do.
Keels, we touched on this earlier in the show. Special teams, maybe expect a fake punt if it's 4th and 7, 4th and 8, but 4th and 19. The biggest coachable point in giving that up on Saturday was what?
Just be ready for everything and anything. And, the high snap was what caused all of that. And obviously they weren't rushing the guy. But, like Jim talked about, that's going to be something that they'll work on this week. The guys that were involved in that were kind of singled out right after it happened. But also, we've started to see a little progress with the return game, where we're seeing a little more positive yardage out of the return game. And, one of these days they're going to break loose and take one to the house. But that's something, is like Jim said, it was addressed right away, and I'm sure to be brought up several times this week.
Yeah, punting, kicking, that's so important.
They just haven't done it a lot.
Yeah, we just, you're right. I think 14 punts. We had 1 punt last week. So we've had 15 punts. Nick McClarty had 1. The other ones are Joe McGuire. He had the 14 punts. So, that's pretty good when you're talking about playing 7 games so far. Field goals, we've missed 2 all year. Generally, he's been very, very good inside the 50. And, sooner or later they're going to have to see if that range goes a little bit further. But, I've seen him over at practice make those, so that's just something that's got to carry over to Saturdays.
Coach Cooper used to coach special teams back in the day. I mean, if your punter went on his own on 4th and 19 and he doesn't get it, what are you saying to said punter?
He's going to be running some extra laps on Monday's practice. I tell you, though, you better have you a field goal kicker, guys. Remember, where you heard it. We're going to win or lose a game before the year's over. When you make a field goal, you win. If you missed it, you lose.
Notre Dame game last year, the clincher.
That's exactly what I was going to say. You had Jaden, and it was Jaden Fielder.
Yeah,
We know who had that confidence.
Georgia game about 3 years ago.
Oh,
yeah,
we could have used
that was a
one,
50-yarder.
And every time you watch an NFL game, it happens.
How about a 71-yarder yesterday in the NFL by the Dallas kicker?
Wow.
Amazing. We touched on this last segment. I wanted to make sure we gave it a minute or so to talk about it. Indiana really upped the ante on Kurt Cignetti. Are you surprised at all? Not that a school would do it, but no offense, that Indiana would do it for a sport other than the ball that you can bounce.
Yeah, a little, but I think you see what's happened over there with attendance, and that's been the biggest barometer because, remember, they used to have their team pictures, their aerial pictures of the stadium taken when they played Ohio State. When you saw a lot of scarlet that made it seem like red. So the fact that their attendance last year carrying into this year has maybe made it less of a surprise, Skip.
I think winning attracts, a lot of people and a lot of eyeballs and a lot of attention. Everybody wants to be involved in the winner, and right now they're winning in Bloomington, so they're getting the support. And if the athletic director, that was probably the best decision he's made so far. So he says, I'm going to keep this asset here.
That athletic director is doing a great job. You want to keep that coach, you got to pay him.
That is a lot of money.
And think about it, and add to it, if they end up in the Big Ten championship game in Indianapolis,
wow,
what's that going to be like?
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Coach Cooper, we talked again about all the coaching changes that have occurred so far. In your opinion, has the college football playoff maybe changed the mindset for schools who, if they're out of it, maybe pull the string a little bit quicker than maybe they would have in previous years with the 4 or back in the day, just a 2-team play?
No, absolutely no question about it. No question about it. Now used to, you lose one game, you're out of it.
Yep.
You're going to go to a bowl game, but you're not going to play for the national championship. I give our team a lot of credit last year. We lose 2 games and come back and win it all, win the national championship.
And Skip, I think it has to do with the fact schools wanting to get ahead on the hiring cycle.
Jim Lachey, Buckeyes in the NFL to take us out.
Well, how about with the Brownies? Quinshon Judkins, 3 touchdowns in his young career, all in the same game. That was an impressive outing by Quinshon. Ronnie Hickman coming up with an interception. Not so good news. Looks like Justin Fields got benched. They went with Tyrod Taylor in the second half, and we'll see if that something continues. A nice thing that happened, though, how about Devon Hamilton and Ty Hamilton got a chance to play against each other? The Jags went against the Rams, so that was a pretty cool story. Those guys are here right from Pickerington North High School and played here at Ohio State. That's a cool story. And right now, Taylor Decker's out there playing with the left tackle for the Lions, and Emeka Buka is playing some wide receiver. I know he's been targeted once so far, but I don't think he has a catch. I haven't been paying close attention, but just looking at some stats.
Last Saturday off for a while for us, fellas. Paul and you and I are working basketball on Sunday, but anything else going on over the weekend, Jim?
Staying in town. Last time I got out of town, I'm just going to stick around Columbus for the weekend.
Coach Coop?
Same way. Stay home and watch a lot of games on TV.
Just relax on Saturday, Big Daddy? Or
yes. And get ready for hoops on Sunday.
Good sports night tonight, fellas. Game 7 in the ALCS. Couple of NFL games. Get home, get busy watching, okay? Have a great week.
Sounds good, Skip.
Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King has been brought to you statewide by Encova Insurance, the American Dairy Association Mideast, Window Nation, and by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers. For our producer tonight, Colin Behringer, and for Jim Lachey, Paul Keels, and Coach John Cooper, I'm Skip Mossick. As always, thanks for listening from Learfield. This is the Ohio State Sports Network presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.